Elon Musk has dropped a new bombshell for Tesla stock investors. This time, Wall Street is paying attention. Tesla's stock is up about 4% today following this news. Elon Musk announced at 10 p.m. last night, all US cars that are capable of FSD will be enabled for a 1-month trial this week. This news is being seen as really good news for Tesla, really for two reasons. First of which, fundamentally, this can be a huge bottom line catalyst. You guys got to remember, all Teslas that are basically newer out on the roads today are already equipped with the hardware for FSD. Actually, getting FSD is just a software update, so you have 90+% net margins. So if Tesla sells FSD for $12,000 for that matter, let's say 90% of that goes to the bottom line, Tesla makes about $10,800 or more every time somebody buys FSD or pays in full. There's also the subscription option, and we'll look at that here in just a second. But just to show you how accretive this could be, let's assume there's 2.5 million Teslas currently in the US that could have FSD that do not have FSD. There's currently a 10% take rate. I think that could jump a little bit. Let's call it 15%. I think a lot of people are going to be blown away by this new reiteration of FSD that just came out, 12.3.1. And yeah, it might lead to slightly higher conversion rates than we have seen previously. Okay, so that could be 375,000 units of FSD that could be bought by customers starting anytime they get their full self-driving trial. Likely when it ends, I think a lot of people like to take advantage of the trial first. So probably even by next quarter, this could be very accretive. Times that by $12,000, you're looking at $4.5 billion of potential profit that could come in based on that. Now, let's assume again 90% for your net margin. That could be $4 billion of profit to the bottom line. Now, is it going to be that extreme? Maybe not. Maybe it's half this amount. Maybe there's $2 billion of profit to the bottom line. Maybe the take rate is, let's say 10%. That's 250,000 vehicles times 12,000. That's $3 billion. Times that by 0.90. That's $2.7 billion to the bottom line. Divide this by 3.3 billion publicly traded shares outstanding. That's 81 cents to EPS. This is a huge material catalyst to the bottom line, let alone if you bring in, 4 billion or more. Who knows what the number is going to be, but it's likely to be billions of dollars. That's kind of the bottom line. Wall Street over the past couple of months has really lowered the EPS estimates for Tesla's 2024, Tesla's 2025, and really extending down the line. Analysts today believe Tesla is going to be less profitable in the future than they did a couple of months ago. For an example, 3 months ago, analysts' consensus estimates for EPS for 2024 was $3.83. Today, it's $3.22. Yesterday, it was $3.10. So EPS estimates just jumped by 12 cents. Well, with this math that I showed you, the 2 to 4 billion, that would be more so like a one-time benefit to profitability. Some people might opt for the $200 a month subscription. So let's do the same math here with 2.5 million Teslas. Times this by maybe a 15% take rate, 375,000 potential units that could be added in subscription form. And it would likely be a hybrid, right? Some people are going to pay for FSD up front. Some people are going to opt for the subscription, the $200 a month. But times this by 200, times this by 12, and you're looking at $900 million a year, essentially, as a bonus to this. And if you times that by 90, that's about $810 million of net profits every single year. So recurring every single year instead of potentially just one lump sum. Who knows? Again, it's going to be a hybrid. Maybe you do see a big jump to profitability in 2024 based on this. And maybe you get more subscription revenue. Wall Street loves subscription revenue. And this will become very accretive, especially as the Tesla fleet does continue to grow. And, you know, more Teslas get out on the road, start buying FSD. One day, just FSD alone as a software as a service business could be worth, you know, hundreds of billions of dollars. But even with this subscription revenue, let's say 800 or so $1 million a year in net bottom line profits, divide this by 3.3 billion shares outstanding, and that adds about 24, almost 25 cents to EPS per year. So that would be recurring every single year, unless people just all of a sudden canceled their subscriptions en masse, which doesn't look likely. So either this is a big boost to profitability in the short term, or this is, I guess, a bigger boost to EPS over the longer term. I would say it's probably a combination of both. Some people are going to buy FSD outright when they try it and love it. Some people are going to get the subscription. We don't know, but we know it's a positive. And let's be honest, it's been a long time since we have gotten a catalyst that has caused Wall Street to raise their EPS estimates. It seems like every catalyst we've gotten for like 6 months plus now has been a negative catalyst for EPS, has been a drag on EPS estimates. This just kind of changed things a little bit. Now, reason with me here. If Elon and Tesla start to take the approach of focusing more on profitability, as I think they are, and maybe coming on this upcoming earnings, which is expected to be released on April 17th, maybe Elon and the Tesla team tell us that. Again, for anyone that does not watch these videos, that is maybe not caught up to speed in what's going on lately with Tesla, Elon not giving guidance on the conference call last quarter, that was step one to focusing more on profitability. You cannot have a 10, 15, 20, 30% guidance number for unit volumes and focus on profitability in this kind of auto market. That just doesn't happen. Okay, so that was step number one. Step number two is raising prices incrementally on Tesla products and vehicles, and that has happened. Let's be honest. The Cybertruck came out. That is one of the higher price, at least right now, that's the highest priced Tesla you can buy right now. And you've also seen Tesla raising prices of the Model Y. That goes into effect on my birthday, actually, on April 1st. And I believe over in Europe on March 22nd. So I believe that has already went into effect over there. And last but not least, some kind of reduction of their workforce, whether that is layoffs or reducing hours. You've seen Tesla over in China reduce their workers' work weeks from 6.5 days to 5 days. So you've seen three things that are really showing me, at least before we actually get to earnings, that Tesla is focusing more on profitability now. And this is going to be accretive as well to that focusing on profitability, boosting EPS. And that's really all Wall Street cares about right now. And the reason number two that Wall Street likely loves this news today is because Elon and the Tesla team are showing a lot of confidence to finally allow this free trial of FSD. I think the Tesla team and Elon are at the point where they think the conversion ratio is going to be high enough to give this free trial. And, I think even bigger than that is, what if every time anyone buys a Tesla from now on, they get a free trial? That's what this could lead to. That means if you're selling, let's say, 500,000 vehicles a quarter, well, if you have a 10% take rate on FSD for that, that would be 50,000 units of FSD you could sell or add to your subscription model. Your subscription software as a service revenue could explode in the coming years, especially as the Tesla fleet gets larger. And ultimately, that's probably step one to robotaxis. Get enough people out on the road experiencing FSD and the product that it is, and it's capable of doing these fully autonomous rides already. That gets you closer to robotaxi. That gets Tesla more profitable. it's a win-win overall. So I think Tesla might just start doing a free trial every time you buy a Tesla for FSD, a free trial for FSD, of course. And that could just be huge for the longer term trajectory of the business. And despite this good news, and we have more good news to share with you, you got some quote unquote bad news. The same bears coming out with the same bearish Tesla notes that we've seen for a long time. Bernstein analyst Tony Sacconaghi lowered his price target on Tesla stock to $120 a share from $150 per share. He kept his sell rating on the stock. Along with the target price reduction, Sacconaghi cut his first quarter delivery estimates to 426,000 units from 490,000 units. His 2024 full year delivery estimate was reduced to 2 million units from 2.1 million units. And GLJ research analyst Gordon Johnson cut his first quarter delivery estimates to 406,000 units from 417,500 units. He rates shares a sell too. His target price is a street low at $23.53 per share. So you actually did get some quote unquote bad news, but kind of expected from Tony Sacconaghi and Gordon Johnson. These are really not new takes on Tesla. And let me tell you, Tesla stock doesn't care at all today. Over on StockTwits, sentiment is bullish today at 56. Yesterday, it was bearish at 35, so definitely a lot better on investor sentiment today. Message volume is normal at 52. Yesterday, it was low at 45, and today the participation ratio is ticking up a little bit to 56. Now, keep in mind, I do think a lot of even retail investors have gotten so used to being bearish, even when you get good news, it might take retail even a while to get over the bearish hump, if you will. And I think that could keep Tesla stock a little bit lower than what it otherwise would be. I think if people were neutral on the stock, or bullish on the stock for that matter, today Tesla would be up like 7, 8, 9, 10%. Based on this news, I think that's roughly how important it is. If Elon does ultimately go with the path of giving everyone a full self-driving trial, a 1-month trial in the US every time they buy a Tesla, like every single delivery from now on, I think that could add a lot of EPS to Tesla's business over time. So, to justify a 20% move higher from here, discounting future cash flows based on this news, that would be justified. I just think a lot of people are bearish, and that's why you're only getting a 4% move higher today. We also have this news coming out today. Italy reportedly contacted Tesla about the potential production of electric trucks. Not exactly sure if that means semi-trucks or cyber trucks. Not exactly sure, but governments, they want to partner with Tesla. And I would just add this to the bucket of good news that we have seen recently. I don't think there's any way that you can spin this as bad news. Does anything come out of this? Not exactly sure. Could it? Possibly. Morgan Stanley's Adam Jonas just said today, quote, "We know it's very hard to imagine today, but we eventually expect to potentially see a load of new products coming out of Tesla and expect the stock to eventually price this in well ahead of their respective launches. We estimate Tesla's current model lineup leaves over 80% of the US market by segment/volume weighted completely unaddressed. We look forward to an eventful second half of 2024. As Andres X here on X says, tell me something without telling me something. That's definitely what that sounds like. Like maybe they know a little something that we don't. To say Tesla's going to come out with a load of new products, maybe something is in the works with Tesla, and maybe there is going to be a lot of new products. If you think about it, Tesla really doesn't launch new products. The Cybertruck, that's a new product. The Model Y, that thing came out in 2021 and pretty similar to the Model 3, which came out a couple years before that. So Tesla's really not known for launching a lot of products. So that's a pretty, unpopular opinion, which leads me to believe that maybe they know something that we do not. And another reason why I'm buying the dip aggressively. in Tesla stock. And yes, even after today's 4% rally, it's still been one hell of a dip. Pat Rolk, that works at Tesla, said this. I believe this is on LinkedIn. You got what it takes to bring vehicle and Optimus cellular connectivity to the next level. I'm looking for an ace engineer to build a seamless private 5G service in between Tesla products and our private 5G infrastructure. Pushing low latencies and data rates to the limit is guaranteed. This role will be based at Tesla's Palo Alto engineering headquarters. Please reach out to Daniel for this role. So Tesla looks like they are actively working on a 5G network. Tesla has officially started paid advertisements on Instagram for the first time. Instagram has over 2 billion monthly active users, or about 25% of the global population. Tesla today is specifically running about 4,000 different ads with Google. Most of their ads are with Google, but again, Tesla is also advertising on Instagram, on X to some degree, and also Facebook. Google Trends data shows a slight downtick in search trend activity for the Cybertruck, but the Cybertruck searches on Google have been going insane, so that's not even a problem. Cybertruck going from 36 to 34. Model Y going from 36 to 37, and the Model 3 going from 38 to 37. So overall, search trend activity is very strong right now for Tesla. Probably a combination of the early effects of the Cybertruck halo effect and some of the advertising efforts that Tesla has recently started. Global inventory numbers falling a little bit for the Model Y today. That's an encouraging sign, down to about 6,700. Model 3, Model S, and Model X are sitting at very low levels of inventory. Model X at about 1,700. Model S and Model 3 at less than 1,000 apiece. It would not surprise me if we do see a small price increase on the Model 3, even maybe the Model S, because I think demand is just outpacing production or supply. So don't be surprised if that news comes in the relative near term. Option activity from hedge funds and institutions today in Tesla is very positive. You've seen 1,128 orders totaling $248.19 million with a positive order value of 66%. That compares to yesterday, you had a positive order value of 49%, which is basically neutral. Today, hedge funds and institutions are a lot more bullish than they have been recently. And it looks like the short sellers started covering on their short positions even more today, with return shares about 900,000 and borrowed shares about 666,000. That means roughly about 233,000 shares were likely covered so far today. We'll have a better update for you coming out at 8 p.m. tonight, and I highly recommend you guys watch that video because we're going to be going over delivery numbers, what effect that'll have on Tesla stock. We've talked about that before, so that's a smaller part of the next video coming out, but specifically around Tesla earnings and what we could see with Tesla stock over the next couple of weeks. This could just be a taste of what's to come for Tesla. Nonetheless, you do have 3.47% short interest of free float with $16.58 billion currently sold short in the stock, and I think shorts are about to take an even larger loss over the next couple of weeks. Here on the day today, the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average is up about 0.5%. So half of all stocks out there broke above their 50-day moving average today. That is great. You're at about 56% of stocks above their 50-day moving average. So basically like a coin toss, not a super strong market, but not a terrible market either. 10-year treasury yields are also down about 2 basis points, with the 10-year treasury currently yielding 4.23%. So seeing a little bit of a weakening here in the 10-year treasury yields as of recently, when they were as high as 4.34%. You're down about 11 basis points since then, and that was just around March 18th. So definitely that could be having a positive effect on your interest rate sensitive names and Tesla. The Tesla Model Y was the best-selling electric SUV in China last week, selling what looks like 11,000 different units. Even Ross Gerber just ceded a little bit to Tesla. He says, testing Tesla's FSD 12.3 today took it to work like normal. The impossible left PCH turn in which humans struggle, and FSD has never made this left even close. Nailed it the first try. Couldn't believe it. No interventions to work. first time ever. And the former Waymo engineer says his first day at Tesla is already, quote, mind-blowing. And this is Charles QI, the guy that we previously talked about. Tesla is doing things that you and I just can't even understand. When it comes to AI, when it comes to full self-driving and Optimus, there's probably a lot more progress than we are actually aware of. Last but not least, Elon Musk found this in his fortune cookie last night. Take a vacation. You will have unexpected gains. Considering he owns hundreds of millions of shares of Tesla, what's good for Elon is likely good for you as well. In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this video. I don't want to make it too long for you, but we have a lot to talk about in the next video, so stay tuned to the channel for that. Coming out at 8 p.m. tonight, you definitely do not want to miss it. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel because it is free 99 and costs you absolutely nothing to do. If you guys want to come trade with us live in real time, check out that link down below in the description of this video, as well as follow Michael Tyler, my X account, free 99 as well. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.